Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SoFi Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Ross Mack, bringing you the market news and headlines that you need to start your day. It's Monday, July 31st, and without further ado, let's get right to it. U.S. stocks finished higher Friday after another round of earnings and key inflation data. Core PCE, the Personal Consumption Index, which is the Fed's favorite index, showed month-over-month inflation increased by 0.2%, which was in line with estimates and lower than the previous month's 0.3% rise. Now, as far as year-over-year levels, PCE inflation rose by 4.1%, which is the lowest level since September of 2021. Overall, the latest numbers could provide the Federal Reserve with more breathing room in its effort to moderate prices and potentially stop raising interest rates. Now, guys, it's still important to note core inflation remains notably above the Fed's 2% target. Now, moving to the earnings front, Procter & Gamble beat analysts' expectations on revenue and earnings thanks to price hikes for products like Crest toothpaste and Pampers diapers. But the company did release a muted outlook for its fiscal 2024 sales. And for the fifth consecutive quarter, Procter & Gamble's volume fell, with the largest drop reported in the healthcare segment at 3%. Meanwhile, Intel reported second quarter earnings with a return to profitability after two straight quarters of losses. Intel posted net income of $1.5 billion compared to a net loss of $450 million in the same quarter last year. Revenue did, however, fall 15% from a year ago, marking the sixth consecutive quarter of declining sales. And as a result, Intel CEO Gelsinger said the company sees persistent weakness in all segments of the business through the year end, and predicted server chip sales won't recover until the fourth quarter. Now, in company-specific news, Google developed a new artificial intelligence model called Robotics Transformer 2. Now, RT2 is a vision language action model that takes images and information from the internet and translates it into actionable tasks, such as learning how to categorize and dispose of trash. Now, while Google doesn't have any immediate plans to release or sell robots with the new technology, they could eventually be used in warehouses or as home assistants. Now, in terms of the market, in total for the week, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up 0.66%, while the S&P 500 added 1%. The NASDAQ Composite surged 2.02%. Now, moving to the top three headlines that should be on your radar. First, after record-breaking traction, Threads is starting to lose steam and is now exploring ways on figuring out how to make the app more sticky for its users. The Twitter competitor has already lost nearly half of its 100 million signups, which CEO Mark Zuckerberg says he considers to be normal as a drop-off. Secondly, Adidas plans to release another batch of Yeezy sneakers after cutting ties with Kanye back in October. As with the first batch, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League. And last but not least, Elon Musk's SpaceX almost broke a 56-year-old record. The space company attempted to launch 2 rockets within 45 minutes, which hasn't been done since the Gemini 11 mission in 1966. Finally, let's talk about what's about to happen today. The JOLTS job openings report will be released for the month of June. Now, in May, the number of job vacancies fell by 496,000 to 9.8 million, which was slightly below expectations. Investors will also receive the June manufacturing PMI, which is a signal of business owners' confidence. Now, in May, this reading pointed to a faster rate of contraction in the manufacturing sector. Now, in earnings news, major commercial real estate owner Cushman & Wakefield will kick off the earnings week. Investors will be eager to hear about the state of the CRE market, which has been struggling thanks to the rise of remote work. And last but not least, we're breaking down your financial term of the day. Have you ever heard of the phrase yield? And no, I'm not talking about slowing down your car as you're driving. Look, yield is another way of referring to the return of an investment over a set period of time, which is expressed as a percentage. Now, you may hear the term in relation to bonds, but yield is more accurately a measure of the cash flow an investor gets on the amount invested in a security during a specific time period. It's important to note, yield is different from the total return. And that's all we have for you today. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and in the meantime, do not forget to check out the SoFi app. This communication from SoFi Wealth and Street Sheet is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to serve as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security, and is not an offer of a sale of a security. Information contained within should not be perceived as a research report and is not intended to serve as a basis for any investment decision. Any third-party views reflected herein do not reflect the opinion of SoFi Wealth or its affiliates or the Street Sheet. All investments involve risk, and the past performance of a security does not guarantee future results or returns. There is always the potential for financial loss when investing in securities or other financial parts. Investors should consider their investment objectives and risks before investing.